What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Thanks for watching. Today we have another body armor test for you guys, and this one should be very interesting because today we are testing the RMA Armament 1165. So the 1165 is a lightweight and affordable level 4 rifle plate. These come in around $249.99, and they are 3 pounds lighter than the average set of level 4 plates. Also, quite a bit thinner as well. Now, what makes these plates unique is they are made using alumina oxide, which is lighter weight than silicon carbide and boron carbide that traditional level 4 plates are made with. It's also a lot less expensive to manufacture. So they're able to provide level 4 rifle plates at a much more affordable price that are still made right here in the USA. Another advantage these plates supposedly have over traditional level 4 plates is multi-hit capability. So silicon and boron do have a higher initial strength. So for one bullet impact, they might have a slight edge. And by the way, RMA is fully transparent about this. All this information is on their website. But the downside of silicon and boron is it's also extremely brittle. So after that first bullet impact, the likelihood of a pass-through increases dramatically. These plates, on the other hand, since they're made with alumina oxide, are not nearly as brittle, and they have a higher level of crack mitigation, which allows it to perform against more total rounds. So we're gonna try them out and see how they do. Again, I wanna thank RMA for sending them out, and if you like what you see in today's video, definitely go check them out at rmadefense.com. Let's get started. All right, guys, this is how we're gonna run it. I have Ballistic Bop behind our body armor plate. It's just propped up on some cinder blocks. I always try to put something behind the body armor when we do these tests, just to make it a little more realistic. Obviously, he's not as hard as a real human, but it should get the job done. Now, as far as I know, level 4 armor is one of the highest rated plates there are. So we're not gonna shoot 22s and 380s. It would not stand a chance of getting through this thing. We're gonna go straight to the rifles, and first up, we have the 5.56. A very hard caliber to stop, but it's the smallest bullet that we're gonna shoot today. In this country, if you're using level 4 plates, this is probably the caliber you're most likely to get hit by. So let's see. And by the way, when it comes to defeating body armor, it's really velocity that's your biggest enemy. So even a little 55 grain bullet, if it's going over 3,000 feet per second, it's still a nightmare to stop. And that's why the 5.56 is such a tricky little sucker. Well, let's take a look at our bullet impact. There's where it hit, right in the middle of the logo. You can see the damage that it did in there. And then on the back, we have nothing. Really not even a bulge. I thought there would at least be a little deformation, but it handled that 5.56 no problem. Okay, next up we have the 5.56 green tip. This is an M855 going over 3,000 feet per second, and it's a steel core bullet. These are designed to defeat body armor, so this is a whole different ball game. Let's see if it stops it. I'm gonna try to put it above the first one. Went high. Well, I dramatically overestimated my holdover. We'll try it again. Now, with level 4 armor, you really don't want to put 2 bullets in the same hole, so I'm trying to separate these impacts as much as I can, and clearly, I overestimated my holdover on that first one. Apparently, I'm not as close as I thought. Either way, our second green tip 5.56 is right there. You can see the hole next to the first one, and then on the back, it stopped it. We do have a slight bulge, still not as big as I was expecting, and it easily stopped the green tip 5.56. Hey guys, before we go any further, I want to take just a minute to tell you all about Vanish Holsters, who is sponsoring today's video. So many Americans with concealed carry permits, including myself, go through this frustrating process of buying multiple holsters before they find the right one, which usually just results in a drawer full of holsters that you never use. The Vanish is a waistband holster that fits 99% of modern handguns. I've yet to find a pistol that won't fit in this holster. It fits just about everything, and it allows you to carry in any clothing because it does not require a belt. It has a magnetic retention strap on top that breaks free with your draw. It carries 2 spare mags and is widely regarded as one of the most comfortable holsters out there. Again, this is not a duty holster, it's a comfort holster. The one you can grab late at night when you're running to the store in shorts or sweatpants and you don't want to put on jeans and a gun belt. They always offer you guys pretty sweet deals, and this time they're giving you a buy one, get one 50% off. And if you use my link in the description, you'll also get a free MagMate with your purchase. And this offer ends August 31st, so don't wait. And don't worry, this is 100% risk-free. They have a 60-day money-back guarantee. So if you get one of these holsters and you're not completely satisfied, you just contact their customer support and they'll give you a full refund. So check them out. Use my link in the description box below to get a Vanish holster, buy one, get one 50% off, and a free MagMate with your purchase. Next up, we have the 308. This is a pretty big step up from the 5.56. So. PTR 91. Well, I really hope you can see it on the slow-mo, but the impact of that 308 was on a whole nother level than the 5.56. Just smoke and debris flying everywhere. Let's take a look at the plate. So there's our impact, bottom left corner. You can see we've definitely got some damage in that body armor. We also have a small tear on the left side over here, which you would kind of expect from a 308. If we flip it around, it stopped it. So I don't know if you guys can see the bulge on the back of that plate, but I'll try and show you from the side. Definitely got some deformation, but that 308 did not come through. Definitely not a caliber I would want to be shot with, even if I was wearing body armor, but the plate stopped it and it would save your life. And next up, we have the 30-06. This is the biggest caliber level 4 armor is rated for. It's specifically rated for 30-06 black tip. I spent the whole week looking for a box of that ammo and I couldn't find it. So instead I got out the M1 Garand and we're gonna shoot regular full metal jacket. Try not to get Garand thumb here. Let's see what it does. Whew. Such a beautiful sound. Well, this is completely unrelated to this video, but look at what I just found. That is a 50 BMG, fully intact, just laying on the ground. Keeping that, and there is our 30-06 entrance hole. Hopefully you guys can see in there. By the way, Ballistic Bob looks like he's doing well. I see no holes or tears anywhere on the rubber, aside from obviously the one that hit high and just sent shrapnel up his neck. But the ones that actually hit the plate, he looks like he's survived. So 30-06 went in right there, a little bit to the right of the others, and it is a deep, cavernous hole inside that plate. If we flip it over, it stopped it. So that is the bulge from the 30-06. Definitely bigger than the 308, but not a whole lot. They're pretty comparable, honestly. Once again, we do have a tear on the side of the plate, which again, I would expect when we're shooting it this many times. But as you can see, it did stop the 30-06. Cool. And it looks like the multi-hit capability that we talked about in the beginning of the video is definitely a real thing, because we have beat the absolute hell out of this body armor plate and it stopped everything we've thrown at it. All right, guys, before we get out of here, I have a fresh level 4 plate on Ballistic Bop here, and since I wasn't able to get any 30-06 black tip for today's video, I have one more rifle that I want to try. This is my Barrett MRAD 338 Lapua Magnum, also known as the Mark 22 sniper rifle. And just to give you an idea of how big the caliber is, on the right we have a 308, and on the left is the 338 Lapua. Aside from the 50 BMG, this is probably the most powerful rifle that I own. I do not believe level 4 armor is rated for this caliber, but we're gonna go for it anyway. All right, we got the tripod out here for this one. We're at about 30 or 40 yards. And again, I wanna reiterate, I do not believe this armor is rated for this caliber, but I've just gotta see what happens. So we're gonna use the fastest 338 Lapua that I have. This is a 250 grain bullet going 3,000 feet per second. Let's see what it does. Try to put it right down the middle. Well, that impact did not sound good, and that was the first one that knocked over Ballistic Bop, so let's go check it out. I'm not gonna flip it over yet. I'm gonna bring it over to the table and we'll look at this together. It stopped it. That is epic. Now that one came a lot closer to getting through than any of the others. We actually have a little bit of tearing on the back, and that is quite the bulge on the back of that plate. I see some of the bullet, most of the bullet. Well, this is what I was able to pull out of the body armor plate. It looks like we got a big chunk of our bullet there. Most of it is just flattened out and completely blown apart. But I'll go ahead and give you another look at the entrance hole and the back face deformation from the 338 Lapua. That is awesome. I don't have a 50 cal out here today, or I would try that, but man, the 338 Lapua is about as big of a rifle caliber as you could expect your body armor to stop. And anything bigger than that, it's unlikely that you would survive anyway. So it stopped it. I believe it probably would save your life. You would definitely be in pain and probably require a trip to the hospital. But looking at the bulge on the back, I think that's a survivable gunshot. That's cool. We'll go ahead and help Ballistic Bop here. He's had a very rough day, and I assume that is probably where the 338 Lapua impacted his chest. I think this down here is like dust and debris from the cinder block that came up when the bullet hit the plate. But that right there looks like the dent. Sorry about that, Bob. All right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the RMA 1165 lightweight level 4 rifle plate. It stopped everything we threw at it, including the 338 Lapua Magnum. And for 250 bucks, I don't think you can ask for much more than that. So I'm a fan. I would trust them. If you like what you saw and you want to pick some up for yourself, definitely go check them out at rmadefense.com. And again, I want to thank RMA Armament for sending these out. I had a blast. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. As always, hit the like button for me, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.